guys, so advanced players, I showed you this scale, or at least sent it to you last week. This is a 3-note per string scale. You especially see them a lot in electric guitar, but you also see them just functionally everywhere. It's just, they make up... They make up things like the pentatonic scale. They make up things like this scale we learned the second week. And what we use them for is, gosh, everything. Scales are super important because as far as music theory is concerned, they're what everything is built on. So I believe on the handout I sent you, you play this scale here on the 1st fret, which if you watched the beginner video, you'll know that this is F. That's also super important for you guys to know because the note that you start on, when we play scales, you want to know every note that we're playing because that determines the key, that determines what are chord tones and what are not chord tones. A lot of these concepts are going to be flying over most of your heads, but these are key aspects of music that it's really important to know as a guitar player. Now I'm always of the mindset that it's more important to be able to play than it is to read, because the reading will come as you understand more about what you're doing. So if you played this scale here at F, that's fine. We're just going to slide it up to the 3rd fret. So now it's G. Okay, I'll turn off the distortion channel so we can hear a little better. This scale, again, we want to know where we're starting because that's going to tell us the name of the scale. So because I'm starting on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, that's G, we know that open is E, so we have E, F, F sharp, G, and when we start this scale, it's really important that we can just play all the way up like that. You'll notice that I'm spread, then I bring my first finger in one, same pattern, then I shift up, so my whole hand moves forward. Okay, so that's how it goes on the way up. Okay, on the way down, how we shift is slightly different, but let me see. Shift with your pinky now. Okay, moving slowly is always important because you want to make sure that you're being accurate. Accuracy is more important than speed because speed comes later. Okay. Now on that same sheet, it has 7 different patterns, and those actually are all in the same key, but we're using what's called modes. Modes are something we don't really use a whole lot in modern music, but we use them a lot in the 14th, 15th, and 16th century. Well, I shouldn't say 14th, we weren't quite into modality then, but especially towards the Baroque era and the Romantic era, well, the Classical era as well. We're using these modes. In fact, we call them church modes for the most part. And what this one that I just showed you is called Ionian. Now, an Ionian scale is what we would just call a major scale. So you might notice that if you played this scale that we learned last week or 2 weeks ago, and you just added, it's the same scale. So major and Ionian are the same. The thing about learning the guitar using modes is it allows you to move around the guitar in the same key. So if I start playing G major here on the in the third position, my first finger at the 3rd fret. Okay. With that being my stretch, if I move up to the next note, now I'm playing the 2nd mode. And on your paper, this is called Dorian. So Dorian is a completely different pattern. Okay, but it's actually the same notes. So in G major, we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Those are our 7 notes, and then we just repeat the same notes. So here I'm starting on G, and I'm ending on C, way up here on the 8th fret. Now if I go to the 5th fret and I play this Dorian scale, it's the same notes, but now instead of starting on G, I'm starting on A. So here's A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. Okay? So now we're playing from A to A. But it sounds it doesn't have the same feeling. That's why if we were playing in a key that was Dorian, it would sound weird. It's sort of minor with this weird major in the middle. There's 2 octaves. Okay. Excuse me, I played C sharp instead of C natural. So what you can do is start linking these scales together. So starting at G, so that's the end of the 1st scale. The end of the 2nd scale is up here where my middle finger is on my right hand. So I can slide up there and then come down playing the Dorian scale. Now I'm on A. Okay? There, that's the resolution. So if the faster you get, the more impressive it is, obviously. So but if you're here, then you can just slide up one more. Now, same set of notes. So we have all the natural notes plus an F sharp. Instead of an F, we have F sharp. So now we're starting on B. So we have B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Right, there's our octave. So you see, I'm playing in the same key. This is really useful when we start talking more and more about keys, is you can follow these patterns to help find your way around the guitar. Okay, so I started on G, Ionian or major, A, Dorian, B, this is called Phrygian. Again, all of these are on your sheet, but you might be starting on F. I don't remember precisely. Then we go to C. C, this is Lydian. See, they all have a very unique sound, and if you play them quickly together, you can start to get a sense for the kind of interesting music that you could do together. So if I start back here on G and go up to our Lydian scale. So I ended at the bottom of the Lydian scale. Now I can go up to the Mixolydian scale, so that's now on D. So Myxolydian is neat because it looks very, very similar to the Ionian or the major scale, with just one difference. So that's what we would do if we were playing Myxolydian or Ionian or major. Instead, we're going to play there. But there at the very top, we're ending with that G. So it sounds like a resolution. So these scales are super important. They're really fun to play around with, especially the better at them you get. So you can do crazy patterns, and I'm going to turn on some distortion because it's more fun that way. Go up 4 notes and then go back down, and then start on the next note and go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, back down. Then start on the next string. Go up to the next scale. Then up to Phrygian. Then go up to Lydian, yeah. Then up to Myxolydian. Okay, and so that's all getting you used to your fretboard and a certain key. What I'd like for you guys to do is, in addition to at least looking at those first 5 scales, hopefully you've got the first one down pretty well. Try and get up at least to that 12th fret. So that 12th fret would be... that Phrygian scale. So that'd be the first 3. If you have a steel string guitar, get that Lydian scale in up to the 14th fret. And if you're feeling really ambitious, you have a cutaway or you brought your 12 string to school, really get up there and get that Mixolydian scale. Okay guys, take care.